So let's do this. Let's go to share the charges against Ryan Hillier. I believe it was Stephen Hoff. Can I see this? Here we go. So this is coming from, I believe this is from the CBC. Let me just double check the profile of the individual. Stephen Hoff, producer, CBC, Parliamentary Bureau. Okay. Reporting. Okay, boom, shakalaka. We got breaking. And this is at 8:05 this morning, by the way, when from what I understood, even Hillier did not know what the charges were against him when he was showing up this morning to turn himself in. So it is interesting. I mean, maybe they have maybe the CBC has access to the documents. Maybe they got tipped off. Who knows? Doesn't matter. Breaking, we now have the official charges laid against Randy Hillier by Ottawa police. He turned himself into police. I think they mean he turned himself into police and not he turned himself into police, because now they're going to accuse Randy Hillier of impersonating a police officer. He turned himself into a police officer, people. Sorry. I only pay attention to this. I don't point out typos. It's just a funny one because when I put up my tweet, I first drafted it like this and I said, no, that means he turned himself into police and not into the police. Okay. Charges, people. Look at this. I don't know if you can read it, so I'll read it out loud. It says, for immediate release Monday, March 28, 2022, 8 a.m. Where is this being released from? Multiple charges laid against area MPP, member of provincial parliament. The Ottawa Police Service has arrested and charged Randy Hillier, 64 years old, of Perth, Ontario. Hillier is the member of provincial parliament for Lanark, Frontenac, Kingston. In February, Ottawa, this is where it gets very interesting. I can't highlight it, so I'm not going to. Ottawa police received multiple complaints about social media posts and other activities of an individual as part of the ongoing illegal protests. They're again repeating illegal protests, where in the only court order that we have to date, as far as I understand, the judge said, respect the terms of this order and you can protest legally. So I don't know when the illegal determination came in, let alone in whatever press release this is from. Seems very interesting to presuppose the illegality of the protest before proving it, but maybe I'm just wordsmithing as an attorney does. An investigation was commenced and information gathered by a police task force initiated. Okay, sorry, let me rephrase that. An investigation was commenced and information gathered by a police task force initiated to investigate criminal behavior during the protest. That task force continues its work. Listen to this. Hillier was charged by the Criminal Investigations Unit with, some are going to make sense to have come after an investigation, others will not. Some will make sense. It took 30 days to look into social media posts. Okay, some are not. This is Criminal Code of Canada, Section 430, mischief, obstruct property exceeding $5,000. Okay. We now know that they've basically qualified the entire protest as having obstructed property, because mischief means, I pulled it up before, I'm not going to do it again, but mischief basically means depriving someone of the peaceable enjoyment of their property or peaceful enjoyment of property. So the idea here is that the blockade on Wellington Street, which actually didn't prevent anybody from accessing anything as far as I could see, is the mischief. It's the object of the mischief. Counsel an uncommitted indictable offense. So he advised someone to commit an indictable offense that was never committed. I'd like to know what those words were. Maybe that is phone in and obstruct, flood the police lines. Maybe. Mischief, obstruct property exceeding $5,000. I'd like to know why there are two of those charges. Same charges, X1 times 1. Okay, whatever. Obstruct, this is where I'm getting very, very, very curious. Obstruct, resist person, aiding public. Okay, so obstruct, resist person, aiding public. Okay, so he's either obstructing or he's assisting someone in avoiding police. I think that's how I'm reading this. I'd have to go look at that. But this is it: obstruct, resist a police officer. So one is basically times 2. I think one is helping someone do it. The other is obstructing, resisting a police officer himself. All of these other charges, I can appreciate might have required an investigation. What are we? February? We're I don't even know what date we are. March 28th. March 28th, the protest came to an end on February 18th or 19th. So we're over a month out of this protest. I can understand how they might have to go and investigate social media posts to see if there were posts encouraging others to break the law, if there were posts encouraging others to commit mischief, however they define that. I have great difficulty thinking it took a month plus for the police to investigate whether or not Randy Hillier obstructed or resisted a police officer. That seems to be the type of thing you'd know the moment it happened. The police officer would know the moment it happened. And then counsel an uncommitted, indictable, whatever. So these are, by and large, these are the charges. We don't know any of the underlying information as of yet. And when I say that there's a portion of this that to me seems like it could be trumped up charges, to say that it took a month and a half to investigate Randy Hillier allegedly obstructing or resisting arrest, resisting a police officer, I have a very, very big problem thinking that charge, which in my mind is the most serious of the bunch, because a lot of them we can probably see through as being disguised political attacks, politically motivated. Okay, fine. He told people to hold the line. We know that is now a basis of the charges against some. We know that, but I have great difficulty accepting for 1 second that it took a month plus for them to find probable cause to press charges against Randy Hillier of obstructing or resisting arrest. No, I didn't skip the police officer. I'm talking about it right now. If Randy Hillier assaulted a police officer, I don't think it takes 30 plus days to come down with that charge. You don't need an investigation of social media accounts to come down with that charge. In my mind, that charge comes down pretty quickly after the alleged assault on a police officer. I'm not missing it. I specifically highlighted it. Let me just bring it back, add to stream, in case it might not be able to be seen. Right here, charge number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Obstruct, resist a police officer. Oh, I'm sorry. Assault police officer. I don't think I missed it. If I missed it, and if you meant that I should have, that's the one I'm talking about. Assaulting a police officer is not a 30-day investigation to come down with the charges. Following our investigation, we determined that, what Randy Hillier did, in fact, was actual assault on a police officer. At the time, we didn't know. At the time it occurred, the police officer didn't know that it was assault. Sorry, I think I actually now understand what you're saying. This is the charge that I was talking about this entire time. Yeah, we didn't know it was assault at the time. It took us 30 days to investigate. When he pat the cop on the shoulder and said, "Good job, you're doing a good job, keep it up." It was only after 30 days of investigating that we now determined that was assaulting on a police officer. Hold on, let me just go ahead and actually apologize to that person who, if you were trying to make me focus on the charge that I thought I was focusing on, thank you. Yeah, it took us 30 days. That time, what is the nature of the charge? What's the nature of the assault that is so ambiguous of assault? It took 30 plus days to bring that charge. So that's it. Oh, let's see here. James Top is in Alberta. Interview him in each province, Viva. He's a losing audience. Well, look, that's going to be James Top. I interviewed him last week. That's going to be something that's, look, he's not losing audience. It's just it fluctuates by days. It will, and it will be, when he gets to Ottawa. Viva is very understanding patient. No, sorry. The person who said I skipped the assault. First of all, I'm not skipping the assault. That is the crux of what I'm saying. The other charges, go look at his social media posts. Find out whether or not he said go call in the police lines and flood them to be a pain in the neck. Okay, fine. Handshake. We are in that realm of the world right now. Did they literally go to see video evidence and say that, now we see Randy, I'm thinking out loud, and this could be the way it's explained. When the cops came down on the 18th, there's now video evidence. We didn't know who shoved back the police officer. Now, in the kerfuffle of the bodies, we determined it was Randy Hillier who shoved a police officer. Hence, it took us a month to find that charge. Oh, here we go. I sent you a tweet. I sent a tweet to your Twitter page where Hillier said to keep calling. Okay, so hold on. Let me go get it right now. I have no vested interest in defending Randy Hillier or anyone else if they've done something objectively wrong. Let me go do that right now. So if I go to add to stream, let me see if I can do this. Okay, we're going to go here. Close that. Go back. Come on, man. So we're going to go Twitter /the Viva Frei. Oh, no. I have to go to not incognito. Hey, give me 1 second. I'll figure this out in real time as we do this. Or I'll just Twitter. Now I go to notifications. Randy Hillier turning himself into police. No, that's not the right one. I do not see in my mentions. So how do I do this, people? Viva Frei. No. I will find it. I just don't want to bore too many people here. If I go to here, Viva Frei, how do I see where I am mentioned? Okay, there's that. Will Smith. Maybe if I go Viva Frei and Randy. Sorry, guys, give me 30 seconds to try to pull this up as we do this. Okay, there's someone who's saying chill on Viva Frei. Okay, well, I can't find it. Someone put it in the chat. That's the easiest way to do this. Okay, let me close this up. If you can, put it in the chat right now. I'll go to the YouTubes and I will get that as it comes up, and then I'm going to read it. But I think I'm not sure that I doubt that it happened. Okay, go into the chat. I'm in the live chat on YouTube, so put in the link to the tweet. I will grab it and then we'll pull it up. I'm reading the chat. Someone says Z, just kidding. Come on, man. Put it in there. Come on, man. Come on, Jack. You can put it in there. Okay. Well, when it comes, I'm a techno noob. Mark is right. Okay, forget it. We'll get back to that later. But we'll see. The assault on the police officer, what investigation had to occur in order for the officer who was allegedly assaulted to know that they were assaulted, to find out it was Randy Hillier, as if it could have been disguised or hidden at the time, to bring these charges. But that is it. I mean, this is, we're saying at the same time that our dear leader, Justin Trudeau, is being heckled, mocked, and humiliated before the European Parliament, talking about the creeping effect of the creeping totalitarianism in democracies. This is what's going on in Canada, and the circus around Ryan Hillier being arrested now. Okay, let's see here. Viva's notification has it as Randy. Go figure. What am I missing here? Put the link in the tweet, in the chat. We'll get to it. Anyhow, so that's the latest. We'll see now. David Amber, by the way, for those of you who don't know, I believe is publicly confirmed that he's representing Ryan Hillier, and he will be covering it. I mean, he'll be on it. Now, there's only so much that he can say publicly while this is an actual pending lawsuit, litigation against his client, criminal charges. But he's on it, and I like David a lot. He's good. Let me just go actually pull up his tweets, see if there's been any news. Share screen. Let's go to this one. Now let's go to this one. Okay, share, and we'll just see what's going on with / David and Burr. Let's see here. Not much of an update, but I can advise that Randy Hillier this morning. Okay, not much of an update, but I can advise that Randy Hillier this morning. I have been in ongoing contact with the Crown. Due to some unforeseen delays, we expect the bail question to be dealt with sometime this afternoon. Negotiations are ongoing. You know, I wonder if they're gonna argue for pre-trial detention of Randy Hillier. Oh yeah, and here we go. I can confirm that I am retained to Randy to address these charges starting bright and early tomorrow. You wonder if they're going to have the absolute audacity to try and detain Randy Hillier. Why do they want to make a martyr out of Hillier? I think they want. You only make a martyr out of an individual to the believers. You make an example out of the individual to the non-believers. Actually, that's damn good what I just said there. He will be a martyr to people who believe in the cause and to people who are themselves prepared to be martyrs. He'll be just the example to people who are not prepared to go to jail for a protest, and that's what the government is going for here. He'll make a martyr of him to the believers. That's without consequence. I mean, to the government. Those are their ideological adversaries already. Make an example of him to the middle ground non-believers, and you control future behavior based on this. So that's it. That's, I think, all the news thus far for today. Let's see if there's any questions in the chat that I missed. And did I miss anything? Anyone have any questions? Don't feel any need for super chats. I'll get to some questions that I can. Let's see here. We got Ninth Citizen. Wrong. He will be a martyr for anyone who speaks against the government for any reason. He will retroactively become a martyr when people realize that there's no amount of bending over backwards to placate tyrants. Until that time, people are going to say, well, okay, fine. He shouldn't have said that. He's got to live with the consequences. He shouldn't have made a tweet about calling in the police line. Now he's got to suffer the consequences. Even if those consequences are wickedly politicized and overblown. Just, be good, and you won't have to worry about the hammer falling on you until the hammer falls on you. They'll always find a reason.